They say research is boring, hard to do. Do you think of it that way too? Throw away those kinds of perceptions. How we perceive things make all the difference. It's just a matter of mindset. Always think that research is fun. Yes, you heard it right. Research is fun. It can take you to adventures and experiences that will help you grow as a student and as a person. Now set your mind as we journey the fun and exciting adventure of practical research too. Good day, grade 12 students. Welcome to Bamboo Telescuela. This is your school on air in practical research too. I am Teacher Eliza. Make sure to grab your modules with you and tune in to DWND FM and CMD Cable Channel 01 and also streaming live at SDO Cauayan Facebook page. Today, we are going to start our fun and exciting adventure in research. Are you ready? I know you've been curious about a lot of things, and you have a lot of questions in mind waiting for answers. Like, when will this pandemic end? When will things go back to normal again? When will be the discovery of cure for COVID-19? And when will be the vaccine available for everyone? So many questions in mind. Let's see if these questions fall under research or inquiry. But before that, please take note that we will be answering these 3 questions at the end of the discussion. What is research and its difference with inquiry? What are the 2 types of research? What are the characteristics of quantitative research? Let's see what you already know by categorizing the following words as to inquiry or research. Investigation, scientific, explore, examine, experimental, probe, ask, problem-solving, systematic, and inductive. Write your answers on page 2 of your module. Are you done? Let's check if your answers are correct. In column 1, the words investigation, probe, examine, explore, ask all pertains to the word inquiry. In column 2, the words scientific, problem-solving, systematic, inductive, and experimental all pertains to the word research. I hope you all got it right. Now let's take a look at these 2 videos. Watch, listen, and observe carefully.
Come on, girls.
Hi. How does it know where we're going?
Yeah, that's her.
How'd you find out she was my great-great-grandma?
Smile. Cheese.
Mobile order.
Thank you.
How do they know I wanted sprinkles? How do they do that? Whoa! How did you find our new house?
Controlled experiments. Meet Mark and Molly. They were just given some plants. The only problem is that neither Mark nor Molly has a green thumb. In order to keep the plants healthy, Mark and Molly need to figure out how much water the plants need. Mark takes his plant and he places it in the window. Mark decides to give his plant 100 milliliters of water once a week. Molly hides her plant from Mark. she places it in the closet. There, she decides to water it with 100 milliliters of water 3 times a week. Mark's plant is green, tall, and healthy. Molly's is not looking so healthy. Mark concludes that it's better to water a plant once a week. Although Mark's plant is healthier, something in this comparison is not fair. If you remember, Mark's plant received sunlight while Molly's did not. To figure out how much water plants need, Mark and Molly needed to set up a controlled experiment. In this type of experiment, everything stays the same, except one variable. Both plants need to be planted in the same size pot, using the same type of soil and the same amount of soil. Each plant needs to be in the same temperature, and what Mark and Molly did not do was give each plant the same amount of sunlight. Then, one part of the experiment can be manipulated. In our example, the amount of water used to water the plants is the only difference between the two plants. This part of the experiment is called the independent variable. The results are different this time. Given equal amounts of sunlight, we see that the plant responded better to Molly's amount of water. To ensure accuracy of the experiment, Mark and Molly could repeat this a few times just to make sure they didn't make any mistakes. Controlled experiments are used in science all the time. Just remember to keep everything constant except one variable. Controlled experiments.
What can you say on the first video? That's right. The child is so curious and asks a lot of things. How about on the second video? Exactly. What the two kids have done is an example of experimenting. Now let's define research and its difference with inquiry. Research is a careful, detailed, and systematic study of a specific problem, concern, or issue to establish facts. This is best accomplished by turning the issue into a question, with the intent of the researcher to answer the question. One goal of education is knowledge acquisition. However, education is not just by stocking your brain with knowledge, but it also encourages you to use acquired knowledge that inspires you to understand the world. An understanding that inspires you to create, construct, or produce, for the betterment of not only your own life, but of the whole world as well. From the two videos, which one shows research? What the two kids on the second video did in order to know how much water the plants need to make the plants healthy is an example of research by experimenting. So it means that the first video is an example of inquiry, when the child asks a lot of things. Inquiry is a term that is synonymous with the word investigation. When you inquire or investigate, you tend to ask questions to probe or examine something. You do this kind of examination through your HOTS or higher order thinking strategies of inferential, analytical, critical, creative, and appreciative thinking to discover more understandable or meaningful things beyond such object of your inquiry. Thinking in this manner makes you ask open-ended questions to elicit views, opinions, and beliefs in relation to your research. That is according to Small 2012. Now, when is research practical? Practical research is the actual way of doing or using something rather than theories and ideas. It involves inquiry methods and immersion activities in order to achieve the correct information with the use of scientific method. What are the processes which involve scientific method? First, ask a question. State the problem. Second, research. Collect sources. Third, hypothesis. Make an educated guess. Fourth, experiment. Design and perform to test hypotheses and variables. Fifth, data analysis. Record observation to analyze the data. Prepare a graph or a table. And lastly, conclusion. Accept or reject hypothesis and communicate results. Now, there are types of research based on the types of data needed. The first type is qualitative research. When you were in grade 11, you had your practical research 1, and the focus of practical research 1 is qualitative research. It is used to gain an understanding of underlying reasons, opinions, and motivations. It is usually used in social science and natural sciences. It requires non-numerical data, which means that research uses words rather than numbers to express the results, the inquiry or investigation about people's thoughts, beliefs, feelings, views, and lifestyles regarding the object of the study. The second type of research is quantitative research. It deals with numbers, logic, and an objective stance. Quantitative research focuses on numeric and unchanging data and detailed. It uses convergent reasoning rather than divergent reasoning. It is giving accurate results rather than open-ended and free-flowing solutions. It is usually used in psychology, marketing, and political science. It presents research findings referring to the number of frequency of something in numerical forms or by using percentages, fractions, and numbers. For practical research too, our focus is to have an in-depth understanding of quantitative research. Now let's proceed with the characteristics of quantitative research. The first characteristic is objective. It means impartial, unbiased, and neutral. Objectiveness means having clear, fair, and sound judgment without the influence of emotion or personal motives or manipulations of results and findings. The second characteristic of quantitative research is clearly defined questions. These are questions which are measurable and conveys quantifiable results. The third characteristic is structured research instruments, like surveys, questionnaires, and software. The fourth characteristic is numerical data and statistical treatment. Remember that quantitative research deals with numbers and presents findings in a statistical form, and that produces fair and unbiased results. The fifth characteristic is large sample size. Because it deals with numerical form of findings, having large sample size aims for reliability and validity. The sixth characteristic is replication. Replication of any quantitative research may result to high reliability as it involves repeating a study using the same methods but with different subject and experimenters. And lastly, the last characteristic of quantitative research is future outcomes. Just like any other type of research, quantitative research conveys new concepts and can be subjected for further studies. Now let's have the rundown of the points to be remembered a while ago in the discussion. What is research and its difference with inquiry? Research is a careful, detailed, and systematic study of a specific problem, concern, or issue to establish facts, and it follows scientific method in the acquisition of learning, while inquiry aims at augmenting knowledge, resolving doubt, or solving a problem. Research is a formal work undertaken systematically to increase the stock of knowledge. What are the two types of research? The first type is qualitative research. It requires non-numerical data, which means that the research uses words rather than numbers to express the results, the inquiry or investigation about people's thoughts, beliefs, feelings, views, and lifestyles regarding the object of the study. The second type of research is quantitative research. Presents research findings referring to the number or frequency of something in numerical forms or by using percentages, fractions, and numbers. What are the characteristics of quantitative research? Objective, clearly defined questions, structured research instruments, numerical data and statistical treatment, large sample size, replication, and future outcomes. That wraps up our lesson. I hope you learned something new today. Just always have that mindset that research is fun. If you still have questions and clarifications, write down on your module and/or message your research teacher. It has been a great day of learning and discovery that even COVID-19 cannot stop. See you again tomorrow, same time from 12 noon to 12:30. Here only on DWND FM, CMD Cable Vision, and follow the Facebook page of SDO Cauayan for more live updates and information. Remember that education must continue amid crisis. This has been Teacher Eliza for Bamboo Telescuela, bringing education in the comfort of your home. Be safe.